Hi everyone. Actually, I thought to bring this video for all the English teachers, maybe the teachers in the field or the trainees. You all should have a good idea about the lesson planning. But most of who are in the field does not know the correct format and the use of a lesson plan. So here I'm bringing you the steps of the current lesson plan, which is operated by NIE with simple explanation about each step. Right, okay, let's start now. First, you have to put the date that you're going to do the lesson. Then, subject. The subject, it can be English, science, mathematics, or any subject that you want to do the lesson. Next, grade. The grade you are doing. It can be grade 6, 7, 8, 9, or any grade. Right. Next, time. You should write the time duration of the period. Normally, in primary classes, we have 30 minutes periods, while secondary has 40 minutes periods. So you have to write in this way. Then number 5. We know every pupil's books contain units. And under units, we get different lessons related to the unit. For example, I'll take the unit 9 of grade 7 English pupils book. It's Our Beautiful World. So you have to write the unit number and the name together in number 5 for unit, right? Okay, number 6. It's the lesson. I mentioned before, under units we get different lessons. Okay, let me take the lesson activity 4 in page number 100. So like this, you have to write the lesson with the page number in brackets. Then number 7, it's competency. Okay, I think you know what is a competency. In fact, it's a long-term target which improves with the development of the knowledge. So how to find these competencies related to the selected lessons? Okay, so what's the lesson we selected? It's activity 4 of unit 9. In every secondary book, we find in the first pages, few pages, with the topic, the book at a glance. Here you can see the picture. Normally, it starts from page number 10. Okay, here we see the grid. And they have divided the grid into units, competency, level, and the lesson or the activity. Okay, the competency levels are under competencies. Then what's their role? When the competency levels are achieved, then we achieve the long-term target, the competency. Right, here we selected the unit 9, activity 4, page number 100. So now, let's find where the unit 9. Okay, we found it, right? Then our lesson, activity 4. Here we see it. So what is the competency level they have given for the activity 4? It's 6.7 and 8.8. We have competency levels here. Okay, then in this, you may get the question, how to select the correct one? Yes, there you have to see about the lesson. The lesson is on prepositions, right? And also it's writing activity. It's a writing activity. Okay, now we know what the lesson is based on. And now we have to turn the teacher's guide. As we selected grade 7 lesson, we should have grade 7 teacher's guide. Okay, if you don't have one in your own, then you can download the PDF. It's available in the internet. Then, how to refer the TG? Here we have got the competency levels, right? So, when referring to the teacher's guide, we see the page number, Roman number 14, with the title Grade 7 Syllabus. Here we can see a grid and it's divided into 4 areas: competency, competency level, subject content, and the learning outcomes. So competencies are numbered one by one as 1, 2, 3, and under that we see competency levels as 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3, etc. So what are the competency levels we have got? They are 6.7 and 8.8. Two different competency levels, right? So here it's easy to understand. 6.7 means the competency is 6. So let's find competency 6. Yes, here we found it in page Roman number 23. Right. Competency 6 uses English grammar for the purpose of accurate and effective communication. This is the competency. Then let's see the competency level. What's our competency level? It's 6.7. Yes, it's here in page number, Roman number 29. Yes, 6.7 uses prepositions. Okay, let's keep this and see the next competency level we found, because we have to select the best one. The other one is 8.8. Then now you know how to find competency. It's 8. Communicates clearly, fluently, and concisely. Okay, then the competency level 8.8, here it is. Describes the position. Okay, now you can decide the competency level you are going to select according to the idea that you are going to do the lesson. Here I select the competency level 6.7. What's it? Uses prepositions. I think you have got a clear idea about both competency and competency levels. Okay, now let's move to lesson plan. Number 7, competency. Our competency related to the lesson is 6. It uses English grammar for the purpose of accurate and effective communication. Then the competency level, it's 6.7, uses prepositions. Okay, what's next one then? Yes, it's number 9, learning outcomes. Learning outcomes are not broad and can be achieved within a short period of time. It means by the end of the lesson, we have to achieve these learning outcomes. They also should be able to measure and also should be observable. Right. Simply, they should be SMART. S for specific, M for measurable, A for achievable, R for relevant, and T for time bounded. It means the outcomes should be specific, measurable, achievable, and relevant to the lesson as well as time bounded. A learning outcome should have a doer, action verb, result, area, and standard. Alright. So who is the doer? The student. Then the action verb here, writes. Then the result, answers. Then the area, given questions. We should have definite and specific area. Then standard, that is how, correctly, accurately, appropriately. And also, we have to write learning outcomes relevant to 3 domains, right? So what are 3 domains? Cognitive domain, affective domain, and psychomotor domain. There are verbs associated with each domain. So we have to write learning outcomes according to those. Okay, so now we have an idea about how to write learning outcomes. So now let's write learning outcomes for our lesson plan. By the end of the lesson, the student related to the cognitive domain recognizes the prepositions related to the lesson correctly. And we have to put the relevant prepositions given in the book. Right? Okay. Then For the affective domain, write sentences using the given picture in groups, cooperatively, skillfully, happily. You can use any of them. Okay, the next one is number 10, learning or teaching methods. So, what are learning and teaching methods? Lecture method, discussion method, group method, and so on. Right? The methods that we are going to use in the lesson to do the things, to do the activities in the lesson. Right. Normally, in every lessons, we use lecture method. Right? The teacher talks and students listen in some areas, not in the whole lesson, but in some areas. Right? Then discussion. The teacher discusses with the students, right? Teacher asks questions, the students answer, and the students also ask questions, then teacher answers, right? So it's discussion method. Then group method. We teach students in some areas in the lesson by grouping them. That's group method. Okay, so in this lesson, we can use all these three methods. Okay, next one, learning teaching techniques. Elicitation, questioning, group work, etc. are techniques we often use in the class. So what is elicitation? If we can get facts about the lesson from the students, that's elicitation. Asking questions, it's questions. Okay, then group work. We give group works for the students. They engage in group works actively and happily more than in individual works. So I'm using these three techniques for my lesson. Okay, what is next? It's learning teaching aids. What are these? Visual aids, audios, or anything that you are using to teach your lesson. In the lesson, we are using as an example, I'm taking pupil's book, teacher's guide, workbook, pictures, word cards, blackboard or whiteboard, anything that you use in the class to teach the students. Next, learning teaching process. This is the most important part of the lesson plan because this is where we are going to teach using all those we discussed before. This includes setting the scene and other steps. In setting the scene, we are setting the students for the lesson. We can do a game. We can elicit facts about the lesson from the students by asking questions. We can sing a song. We are setting the minds of the students for the lesson. But everything should be related to the lesson. The game should be related to the lesson. The song to the same. Any activity you do should be related to the lesson. Okay. The next, the development of the lesson. Here we have to use 3 steps. First step, presentation stage. So in this presentation stage, the teacher has to present the content of the lesson. Here's the place that we have to use different kinds of aids. Right? But, I believe, though we have to use different aids when teaching anything, we have to use the familiar things. It's better to take examples from the class itself or the very familiar things to give examples because it will be more effective for the students. Then the step 2. This is practice stage. Here the students are given activities for practice. So for this step, it's better to give group activities. First we have to group the students. Then we have to give the activities to do in groups. Okay, then step 3. Okay, the next step is step 3, production stage. Here, most of the time we are giving individual activity. Okay, now 3 steps are over. What is the next number then? Yes, it is summing up. Now the lesson is over, but before we end up the lesson, we have to give a summary to the students. Here, the teacher can ask questions. In fact, this is the time for teacher-pupil discussion about what they did in the lesson. Right. Okay, it's simply the summary of the lesson. So next number, yes, it's assessment and feedback. This is where we check the achievement for what we taught. For this, we can give a different activity for all the students, or else we can ask questions about the lesson from randomly selected students. Right, then extended works. That is to give homeworks and all. It's easy to understand, no need much explanations, right? Okay, next, annexes. We have to put the annexes here. That is, if we used pictures, we have to paste samples of them here. And the word cards, activity, or worksheets, any of the things that you use to teach the lesson. You have to paste all those things in this area. Okay, now next, a reflection note. Here you have to write the way you expected to do the lesson and how you did the lesson. If you made any changes, you have to mention that here in reflection note. The outcomes, yes, the outcomes, achievement, and whether your students actively participated or any problems you faced there in the class when doing the lesson, and about the time management and classroom management, all. This is in fact a reflection. What you did, what you saw, what happened in the class when you're doing the lesson. Right. It's clear. Right? This is it, the lesson plan. But if you are observed by any of a senior person, then you can leave a space for them also, as supervisors not, something like that. Right, this is it, the lesson plan. But if you are observed by any of a senior person, then you can leave a space for them also, as supervisors not. Like this, then the supervisor will write his idea here. Yes, okay, that's it. I hope this is very much helpful for you all, the teachers and the trainees and all. It's clear, right? Actually, I also hope to upload lesson plans too, related to school English lessons. So keep in touch. Bye bye.